everyone. Welcome to the Starting Out on Homestead. Tonight's topic is going to be one of fencing. What's your best choice? So, before we get into that, I'd like to remind everybody to share it out. Share the live out on social media, your friends, family, and relatives. That way they have a chance to learn as well. They can get this property taken care of and set up, and they're better off as well. We have Courtney from Wide Family Farms sitting in for Uncle Al. Uncle Al is letting me know that he's laying flat on his back, looking at his phone, responding to YouTube videos, making comments, but he's out of it still after his operation. Hey, let's do a little roll call here. Of course, Evil Twin was the first one in there, Gray Man Prepping, then Dave, Southern Ohio Prepping. Keith Funk made it in, asking not to come in. Go get me singing Cowboy songs. It's still going to sing a Cowboy song. And Ryder Dust came in, and Ryder Dust sent me a link to a video, and we will look at that a little bit later on fencing. So it's a neat little technique they're using to do it. It's a no post hole drilling, no dig fence system. So check that out a little bit later. I got it all set up, ready to go. Aiden Ear's in the house. Kaylin Strain. Dustin's here. That's Courtney's husband. And everybody's chit-chatting. Mary Lucy. Oh, I would butcher that last name if LaHaye Randy. I know it's probably a little bit differently. Sorry. We got Howie from Food Forest Permaculture here. All right. Let me move a little closer here to my mic. I got to get a better mic here. Next time I come down, I'll bring one of the other cameras from Idaho down. So, I'll try to remember to speak louder all the time. Anytime I start speaking softly, put louder.
I'll just scream in my microphone. That way you hear it quicker.
Yeah. All righty. Let's see what else we got here. Everyone's chit-chatting. Anybody new? Sliding in. Good. Everybody's talking. I like to see everybody talking. All righty. So, fencing. This doesn't just apply to homesteaders, although homesteaders probably use more fencing than most other people because homesteaders usually have a lot of animals. So we're going to talk about several different things here. So let me get this up here set up for it. There we go. And we're going to go back to that. We'll get into that. And anybody, when we come across any of these things, if you have any input in the side chat there, please put the input in. Let us know any experiences you have with it, good, bad, or otherwise. And because, hey, if you can help us learn, we appreciate it. All righty, here we go. So do you have the right fencing for what you're dealing with? And, of course, if you're dealing with certain animals, you have to have the right fencing. Otherwise, you're going to get out. All right, and let's see what's going on here. Is that working right? Oh, yeah, it is working right. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these fencings here. There we go. Yeah, some animals, unless you have exactly the right fencing for them, are going to get out or try to get out. They're going to mash down the fencing. They're going to destroy it, trying to get at what they want to eat. You've heard the saying, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Goats and cows seriously believe the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Of course, then llamas, alpacas, and other type of animals too like to climb fences. And of course, our feathery friends, unless you have a top on it, will generally fly out and just perch on top of the fence.
Hey, Josh. Hey. The old axiom is true. Pigs do fly.
Yeah. And this, when I saw this one, it surprised me. There were several photos of this in there, and when I searched it. But yeah, pigs actually do climb fences. Now that when you think of horse country, back east and stuff, generally it's the three rail fence everybody thinks about, and actually three rail fences work really good for keeping horses in. The only problem is horses like to nibble on them and rub up against them. And unless those rails are really strong, there's going to be a problem. Now, they also have these are not wooden rails. These are the vinyl tape things that have the wire in it just to give it strength. But if you notice between the top one and the next one down, there's a hot wire set up there.
Mm-hmm.
That keeps the horses from pushing on them too much.
But it doesn't look like it's on right at the moment because that one horse is just leaning right up against it like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Either that or they got too long of a run and not a strong enough charger on it. So, get back over here. There we are. Now, sometimes all you need is just a simple split rail fence to keep things in or out. But some things just will not stop at all. This will slow down horses and cows. Won't stop pigs. Won't stop sheep. Won't stop bear.
But
Hey,
it looks
Mary Beth.
really nice.
Hey, Mary Beth.
It looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
Really
is
expensive
a
too.
really nice looking one. And
My neighbors down the street have about 5 acres of that. Just that.
Oh, it's so cool. Now, if you have the trees on your property, it becomes a very economic way to make a fence.
They don't have animals or anything. They have a huge pond, and their yard looks like a golf course.
Cool.
Like, okay.
The other thing I forgot I just remembered, there's another type of fence similar to this. Rather than having posts, they do the zigzag pattern with the rails.
I love that. I just want a little bit of that for my landscaping. I don't want it for to keep animals out or in or whatever, but have a little bit of that around my barn. Get on it, Dustin.
Some of the All right, sorry, Dustin. You got a job now. Yeah, some of the plain simple wood fences can be very, very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Now here they took the split rail fence and then they put the wire over it to keep, is that a duck back there? I just realized there may be a duck back in the back there, about halfway up on the left side, a little white spot. But yeah, to keep certain animals from getting through that would normally just crawl right between the rails. And then, of course, what a lot of people do if they have horses or cows, they'll put a top board or rail around it to keep, if you have the wire out there, to keep it from pushing the wire down.
We have that exact same fencing around our property. We just don't have the rail on the top.
Yeah.
It's like really thick wire.
Yeah. And it gets smaller, it goes down to the bottom, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we got that wire around around the one property there in Idaho as well. Let me get my mouse back over where it's supposed to be. There we go. Now some people will take and they'll put, hey Nathan. And so what some people do is they'll put a board across the bottom, a board on the top, and you just put the wire in between. If they have non-aggressive like pygmy goats, sheep, or if they have the chickens that just range free, that don't like flying, they just go around. They have a big enough area, they don't worry about flying away. But that works out. It also works really great for kids too.
Yeah, we have a whole section by our garden completely fenced in with a bunch of kids' toys in it because I can't watch my son. Like, he's all over the place, and it's fenced in. He can go out there and play, and then I can be in the garden. I can take care of the chickens. I can, but if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to get near as much of the stuff done as I need.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's my daughter has taken some of the cow panels I bought last year to finish fencing off the backyard to keep her 4 boys under control.
Yeah, you have to, because I mean, if not, my son would be in the front yard, he'd be in the street, there'd be something going on. Like, he's just all over the place. I
And
love him
some
to
people,
death, but
yeah, yeah, some people like a little privacy, but they don't
Hey,
like
Carol.
they like to keep a solid wood one here. Hey, Carol. And so there are several different types of solid wood privacy fences, and some
oh, I
start getting
like
a little,
that.
yeah, some get a little fancier with the different types of lattice. You can have the box lattice or the diamond lattice on it. In fact, on the one side of the property here, we have 4-foot tall lattice on top of the 6-foot fence.
And when you're doing that kind of fencing, you gotta make sure you do it right. I've seen a lot of people not put cement in those holes, and then a year later, they're all tipping in.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, especially if you get strong winds blowing by, and they're primarily from one direction. That fence will start leaning as the wind blows on, especially once it gets to wintertime.
Yeah, fencing is super expensive, so make sure you do it right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those roses are pretty.
Yeah, and there is some decorative fencing that works good. This, for the most part, would keep the kids out of the one area. It might keep a Chihuahua and a little small toy French poodle, small dogs out, but it ain't gonna. If a shepherd or a Rottweiler wanted to go through that, they're through it. But yeah, lattice work, the diamond lattice work is really a beautiful thing to see. And then there's wide gap lattice work, which the cats can go through and the Chihuahua can go through, but it still keeps the kids under control as long as they don't start trying to climb on it. And then there's your once again your square lattice.
When we lived in the city, we wanted 10-foot tall, like fencing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to special order it, but that's what we wanted because we wanted to keep the neighbors from peeping in on us.
What were you doing to make them peep?
Oh, you have no idea. I lived in the hood in the city, and you would not believe the stuff that you would see or the stuff that they would go.
Seeing as how you're here in Ohio, I'm going to go take a peek real quick.
Yeah. All right, and then they also have the large square lattice, lattice like this. This fence, they're actually being smart. They're using 1x2, so that's not 3/4 inch by 1.5 inch boards. They're using for that, so that's a little bit stronger, and actually might support a kid deciding to climb on it until they hit teenagers and they get too heavy. Then of course there's the old white picket fence and the picket fence non-painted.
Sounds like we need to get Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn out there to finish that one up.
Yeah. Now we get into some of the probably the second most famous fence in America, the barbed wire fence. And a modern barbed wire fence. This is probably one of the neatest barbed wire fences I've seen, where they use the wooden posts and the metal posts in between. But they also got these ties, I forget what they're called, that go down and keep them all spaced exactly apart. And this will control your horses, your cows. Sheep would be no problem with this one at all. This is what's coming out new a lot around. This is a plastic coated steel cable. However, 2 of them, the plastic coating isn't thick enough to act as an insulator, just enough to keep the water from rusting out the cable, because 2 of those, the top one and the 4th one down, are electrified. You can see the insulators on the post. And so that'll keep the horses and cows from trying to get through there.
Yeah.
And come on, there we go. course, this is all just regular the plastic wrap cable.
Hey, Dustin, I have a solution for that. I stand 6'6". I'll look over the fence and look down at him and ask him what the heck he's doing.
Good luck with that. We had some weird neighbors. We lived in for
they'd only do it once to me.
Yeah. Now, some of these cable fences, like this one here, they actually use that to keep buffalo in.
Oh, okay.
So that that's a fairly.
So it's pretty tough.
Yeah, and you look at the size of those posts. Those are not 4-inch posts. Those are more like 6 or 8-inch posts. So, and here we have that type fence that you and I have on the bottom. And here they just, for the horses, they're not using barbed wire. They're just using pulled strand wire, or a strand solid wire, tinsel wire, going across there to keep the horses from leaning down on the other fence. And they pull those tinsel wire really tight, and it's strong and it stays there.
Yeah, that fencing is really nice. I really like it. It keeps my chickens out. Like they don't care about it.
And this is a non-electrified one, but they can, instead of using the staples to staple that wire to the fence post, I've seen them where they use the plastic insulators, nail those to the post and run the strand wire through it and just tie it off on it so it doesn't, flop loose, but they can still pull it tight and get their tension on it. And it lets the horses and cows know, don't touch me. Okay, and here's the same type fencing below with barbed wire on top. This is what we have running around our property there in Idaho. And it worked pretty good until the cows realized that if we push on the lower fence, we're not going to get poked by the barb. And then they tried putting hot wires out on it, and they didn't do the hot wire right before we bought the property. So we have a few pieces of our fencing that need to be replaced. Now this is a 3-strand barbed wire on the top, and this is a small, I forget what it's called. I'm having a brain fart right now. Basically, it's a small little 2x4-inch squares for the that particular type fencing. All right, Nathan, take care of driving. And all right, now I keep on forgetting what the small on the bottom here, the 1/4-inch hardware cloth. That's it. So they got that 1/4-inch hardware cloth or 1/2-inch hardware cloth on the bottom, the 1-inch hardware cloth up on the sides.
And what I highly suggest too is if you're building something like that, to buy extra rolls of hardware cloth and put them on the ground. If you put them, like before you build, you put them on the ground and whatever, and it also keeps like predators like raccoons and stuff from digging out the fence and stuff like that. It keeps your chickens more safe.
Yeah. And one of the things you can do is on that first row of hardware cloth, if you dig a trench along there and you just stick it down in there 1 foot to 1.5 feet into the ground, your predators aren't going to dig down 2 feet to get underneath it.
No.
And even if they try, it's going to take them more than just one night. See where they're trying to get in, and you'd be waiting for them the next night.
But on this one, the only one that I've seen that actually does that is a rat.
Yeah.
They make big holes, but they don't do any. They don't really do any damage per se. I mean, they may eat eggs here and there, but they don't ever go after my chickens.
Yeah. Now, on this one here, I noticed when I spot pulled this picture that they hadn't put any of the anything. They had the boards up on top, which I assumed they were just going to do for stabilization, but there's no wire up on top until I found the next picture where they had put the 2-inch chicken wire on top to keep the flying predators and any predators that would go over the top out.
I would love to have something like that. That would be amazing.
Yes, I mean this is a big enough run too.
Yeah,
the chicken should be happy in there.
I don't know, like how would that top do with snow?
Well, if it's big enough,
unless you're going to get an ice storm where you get more than a 1/2 inch accumulation of ice, which by then you'll have the chickens relocated into a better building anyway, you should never have to worry about it. It shouldn't hold enough snow to make any issues.
My daughter put 2-inch chicken wire over one of the their pen, and they didn't have, it sagged a little bit, but as soon as the sun came out, anything that was sticking on there just melted and fell through. It was funny watching the little globs of snow land on the chickens. And them freaking out like, what was that? What was that? The sky's falling. The sky's falling. All right. Now, some people, and my daughter included, are starting to use dog kennels for their chicken pens, and they can move those are kind of easy to move around. So if you need to move your chicken pen around a little bit, you can do that too.
Check your local Facebook marketplace too, because a lot of times people get rid of dog fencing, and that's where we got ours. Somebody was getting rid of their dog kennel. They didn't need it anymore. And so we just, we went and picked it up for like half the price because they didn't want it anymore. And so we put it together, and I can use that to separate my turkeys from my chickens, or, if I'm breeding birds, I can use that, extra. It's a dog fencing is really, really nice to have.
Okay. Let's see, Albany Mountain Homestead's in here. Drops Family Garden has joined us. Christy Betts has joined us. Did I miss anybody on the side here? I'm scrolling up and down, checking the side chat. Everyone's talking about the different types of chicken stuff as well. Drops said that, where does it go?
Yeah, you're right, babe. You really have to watch out. We don't really have knock on wood, we don't have issues with weasels, but weasels are nasty creatures. And you might want to, in those corners you might want to put hardware cloth in the corners, just to keep the weasels out, because weasels, they don't eat your birds. They just go in there and wreak a bunch of havoc and rip their heads off, and then they leave. And then before you know it, you have a bunch of dead chickens. And weasels are probably one of the most nastiest predators compared to raccoons and all different kinds of stuff. So just watch your gaps and stuff, and something like that, a weasel could walk right through. So, you might want to use hardware cloth to wire on up and down the gaps. Hey, CB.
Hey, CB. Hey, David Lynn. David finally made it. He usually catches this on the replay. All right, so next picture here, we got
the White House.
Since we're going to all metal, we're going to some security fencing here.
Yeah, I need that around my property.
Yeah, I threw this one in here specifically because of Steve at Corsair Trainers little series he's doing on security. And so, this is just showing what a good security fence is.
It's missing one key component for a security fence. That's just decoration right there.
Yeah, it's not really sharp on top, but yeah.
Yeah, it's missing a nice big roll of Constantine.
And a pew-pew tower.
No. Obviously, you did not watch his video today, did you? Learn distance.
Yeah. Yeah, reach out and touch somebody from a quarter mile away.
Yeah, the closer they get to you, the less chances you have of surviving. You take out your opponent from a distance. Don't let him get close.
Yeah. So, so this is just a simple type of security fence. Now, this is a type of fence that a lot of ranchers are going to that raise show horses. Because they don't want anything that'll damage the horse. So they put up the fence posts that have, that they can put pipes on, so that the horse doesn't have anything to scratch themselves on or cut themselves on. And there's even a few cattle ranchers that are using the pipes for their corners, to reinforce their corners, so that when they do run their other fencing wire and stuff, that it has a solid, secure corner that's not going to rot out in a few years. And then along with those type pipes, there are the portable panels that you can configure just about any way you want. Easy to move around if you have forks for your tractor, and they make, you set them up to make corrals, pens, paddocks, whatever. There was a whole bunch of pictures on these panels showing them using them inside barns. They have big open barns, and they created all the paddocks using this type panel. That way the horses aren't totally separated. They still socialize a little bit and keeps them a little bit less stressed. Chain link fence is another type of security fencing that we see them around just about all sorts of places that want security. Short ones work great for sheep. The 3 foot tall stuff, sheep aren't going to climb over a 3 foot fence unless they've eaten all the dirt bare and they're starving. But this works great for kids, sheep, and small chickens. If you had a big area surrounded with this with chickens, if it's big enough, the chickens aren't going to try to fly over it. It just kind of contains them a little bit. And then there is the chain link fence that has the little panel things that go in the slots to make it a privacy one, which actually someone was telling me that this works great for goats too, because the goats can't see what's on the other side. So they don't try climbing over it. They just think it's a building or something there, so they're not going to try to climb over it. And then they have this cloth stuff, which has the I just forgot not
grommets.
The grommet holes in it set up around it, so you can just tie it to your chain link fence, your square wire, whatever you have up there. You can put it up there, and it gives an area of privacy.
We need to send Fisha a lot of fencing because she's got 2 main predators down there that can climb fences: gators and iguanas. Meth heads don't count. Sorry.
Oh.
Well, I would say something, but this is in jest. So all any PETA members out there that want to protest me, this is in jest. For the gators, just hook up a 220 to it and like a big range or whatever. So when they start climbing on it, they complete the circuit and your stove starts working, and you
got free food.
You got cooking the alligator outside. All right, next one here. Now, some of these they're using these a lot around tennis courts and
some gated communities have it.
Pool areas and community pools and stuff, where they'll put a cement footer in, and they'll set it up so they mow right up against it, and then they have the privacy up around there to give people privacy or help keep the noise down just a little bit. But yeah, so that's right, Drops. People eating tasty animals. Yep. All right.
We had chicken tonight.
Here's what a lot of people out there are using for a portable corral area for chickens and turkeys.
And I highly recommend the Premier One fencing. A lot of people don't like it, but that's what we have. The only problem we have with it is you have to keep the grass cut down around it. Because if you don't, then the circuit, it doesn't work very well.
Sorts out.
Yeah. But other than that, it's really good fencing. I feel safe leaving my ducks and chickens in there, and it's worked out pretty well for us. But they have several different types. They have the solar, and then ours is hardwired in. So you can go either way, but it's
Bob.
Pretty nice. Hey, Bob.
So one of the other things on this too that people have found out that it works on.
Yeah.
Is pigs.
And they do sell 2 different types too. They sell one for chickens and poultry, and then they sell one for pigs. And the pig one, I think it has more of a high voltage or something. It's a lot stronger. Yeah,
the fencing is stronger itself. But believe it or not, pigs are not thick-skinned. As far as being tough and everything, they can do stuff, but evidently they when you hit them with a it doesn't take much voltage to really to shock them. They're sensitive to electricity, is what I'm trying to say. And what's the next one here? Now, where I got all my cow panels from in the video I did last year, a guy who was raising pigs and he gave it up and he moved into the city. And so I got all of his cow panels that he had. Now, what a lot of people do is they'll put the cow panels up. The pigs will push against the cow panels unless, like here, you see the yellow markers at the bottom here. Those are the hot wire holders, and so they have a hot wire going around the inside of the fence to keep the pigs about 4 inches away from the fence. And they get up next to that, and with all their wallow there, they're in that damp soil, and they touch that hot wire. Oh yeah, you'll see pigs squeal and run like you wouldn't believe. Hey, Conrad Homestead, and he says, yeah. Let me move my, yeah. So Conrad says it works for them as well.
It's good stuff. I've heard complaints about the Premier one, but to be quite honest, I've never had an issue. The gate kit that we bought is a little chintzy. Within a year or so, the plastic on it broke, and or something like that. But for the most part, it's kept my birds in and the foxes away, because we're having a major fox problem. So it's kept the foxes away.
Mm-hmm. Courtney, is your county doing a bounty on foxes?
I'm not quite sure. I don't really know all the legalities of it. I know you can't just shoot a fox. Yeah. So I don't know. I know we had a den up the street, and fox had like 3 or 4 babies, and they're starting to kind of make their way down here where it's easy target. So we're just trying to keep them away as much as we can. I'm like willing to buy cougar pee at this point, and I just like put it all around my property. I'm like, nobody will come near me then. Maybe it'll keep my mom away too, man.
Make sure you get the right cougar pee, and make sure it's not coming from Beverly Hills.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want that kind of cougar pee.
Gross.
All right, and let's see what the next one here, if I remember right. Okay, all right. So we're in at the end of it. So you got to make sure you got the right fencing for the right job. So whatever it is you're trying to keep in, you got to make sure you have the right fencing for it. So get something out. Now I got a video here. Let's see if I can get this changed up here right. Where is it? Where'd I go? Oh, there it is. Give me a second. I got to bring this up right again.
I do a lot of precautions too. Like my dog has extremely long hair and he looks Rastafarian. So when we cut his hair, we place that around the chicken coop too. Like we do a lot of things to keep predators away. I had an issue, or maybe a couple months ago, my husband goes outside to check on the animals. It's like 6 a.m. and there was an owl on the ground eating one of my ducks, like early, like the sun was out and everything. It was like, it was a huge owl. And so we have owls, we have hawks, and foxes and raccoons. And so far we have not seen a coyote. My husband has a trail cam, and like we've seen a coyote on the trail cam, but for the most part, we don't have them up near the house or anything. So, but yeah, we have our share of predators, so we do have to watch out. And I encourage the crows to come, and because when you have crows, even though they do eat eggs, they eat the duck eggs, but for the most part, they keep the owls and hawks and stuff away. So,
Kaylin, your deck rail can be considered a fence if you're keeping a small pygmy pig up there, or a small pygmy goat, something small up there. All right, drop this down. All right.
Speaking of skunks, Bob, I'll tell you what. Last night I was sleeping. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was I don't know if there was a skunk fight or what, but upstairs we don't have any AC. I leave the windows open and have one of those window little unit things, those little fans, and I have a fan on the other side. Well, last night a skunk came through and it smelled horrible. Like it was so close, it was making my eyes burn. Like it was that close. I'm like, what in the world? I text my husband.
That means whatever it was, it had already been in a fight and emptied its sack.
Oh, it was horrible. And I told my husband, I said, please don't let the dogs out, please. Because that would have been all bad.
Actually, no, by then it's safe because it had an empty sack.
Oh,
it can't spray at that point. It takes like 12 hours for it to refill.
I don't think I've ever been that close to where it actually burned my eyes. That was like bad.
Yeah, we had one in the neighborhood here in California in the suburban area here, come through from the city park down to the where the creek flows through the drain. Everyone's sewer stuff, not sewer, storm drains empty out into the creek here, and that creek's been around for, it's not new, it's an old one. It's small, it trickles year round, and they'll go down there to drink. And one came through, and one of the neighbor's dogs,
Queen of the North, welcome,
and went after it. Hey, Lori. And so and he got it right there, about 2 doors away from us, and the wind was blowing towards our house. It was bad that night. All right, so I got the video here. Let's pop this up here.
Woohoo!
And Ryder Dust sent me this. And so what I will do here before I start, let me go and grab this. I'll put it in here for everyone to see. If you guys want to check this out. But I'm not going to play the whole video because it's 20 minutes. But basically, they got these posts, and they can be set in there in cement. I got a stupid commercial. All right, so we got a commercial here that I can't skip. Stupid, non-skippable commercials. All right, there we go. Boom. Okay, so this is the post. And what they do is, let's see me skip forward to where they're doing. It's got there's your hole has holes in it to nail into, and it's a fairly stout. It's not flimsy like a metal house joint. This is almost like a street post, type material. It's thick. And I show the one picture of it. Let me see if I can get up here. See that? It's a fairly stout piece of metal there, and so you can either bolt or you can use screws in there. But the way they put it in, rather than using a pounder like that, they have a special.
Hey, I used that when I was a kid when we replaced the fencing around our house. Yeah. If you can't handle a doggone fence post puncher like that, go and get some work.
All right, this. Let me go back here if I catch it. Whether they use it. Okay, so this is a power driver.
Oh, that must be so nice.
Yeah.
Cheaters.
And see, that way they put the level on it, and they make sure they're going in square. And so they put up on this one, does it say here how much they did? It doesn't show it here, but I think they said 400 and some odd feet of fencing in 4 hours.
Nice. Wish we had one of those. That would save my husband a lot of work.
And the only thing I can see wrong with this is if you have soil like mine where you got the big cobbles and stuff, it hits one of those, it's gonna stop, or it's going to hit to the side. And we get this like commercial.
Hey, did you know they can fix your windshield right in the parking lot?
Yeah.
No, I didn't really. Oh shoot, I ain't even got a car.
All right, and Dave threw something up here, so I'm going to put Dave's what Dave is sharing here.
And the ultimate fencing.
Yeah, the fencing that Steve and a few other people out there.
That's the good stuff right there. 2 rows.
Oh, and it comes with a tower.
On both tops.
I like that tower. That's what I need for my property.
Yeah.
We'll get the neighbor and the neighbors talking. Oh, it'd be funny.
Keep them at a distance.
That'll bet. That's a fence you don't go climbing over.
No, as thick as that Constantine wire is, especially on the second row there, you ain't climbing over that.
No.
You get shredded 32 ways from Sunday.
As thick as that is, you're going to need a leather blanket to throw over that.
And I honestly don't think, even though it looks really thick, it's probably super flimsy. So unless it's like a 1-inch thick piece of leather, which is going to be heavy as hell, it's probably going to slice through that leather before you get across it anyway.
Yeah. All righty.
Will it keep zombies out?
I don't know. Go check Walking Dead. They hold up in a prison for a while, so it keeps them out for a few minutes.
Hey, Best Life. All right, so let's drop back here. So yeah, the fencing, whatever you're going to have, you got to look at what animals you're going to have immediately and what animals you might have later. Or if you're rotating animals around, you got to make sure that the fence will work for all of them. There was Daniel Arms Family Homestead. They were moving. They have the alpacas, or donkey poodles as they call them. They had
Best Life,
goats.
don't you call me again.
I just realized what Best Life said. Best Life, that's not something you want to admit to. Yeah, he said they had their bowl for meat. They had donkey poodles. They had the Kiko goats. They had something else. I can't remember what it is right now, but they were moving them different, around because they'd put out the bull or the alpacas, donkey poodles out there, and they'd eat some of the shrub, and they'd rotate them around, put the goats out there, and the goats would take everything down to the ground, finish decimating everything else, and they rotate and they give a chance for the grass to grow, and then they could put. I think they had sheep there for a little bit, so they're rotating around, but they got to make sure the fence would handle all of their animals. What fishes say? There you go. That would work too. Okay. So, what time? Okay, we're a quarter up. Good. So, anybody? Wait a minute, can't right? We have a line of thorny roses behind that.
They were talking to prison fences. What most people don't realize is
I know.
Yeah. Well, it comes from Kalen's comment about them pole vaulting over. You're not going to. Yeah, you may pole vault off of the first one, but you're not going to have no room to try and run and pole vault over the second one. You're
still
stuck.
And then hit that second one. You're good. Yeah. That's just how it's going to work.
Yeah, they're spaced too far apart.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But hey, you look really cute with crisscrosses going across your whole face.
Everyone talks about roses. My grandmother had roses all over the place. My mom had roses. My wife has roses. I don't mind roses for trying to get through. The one thing I absolutely hate, and most burglars hate too, pyracantha. We're not talking little, half inch, to maybe 3/4 inch thorns on a rose bush. We're talking 3.5 inch needles that you can't see, that you think, if you don't see the berries on the bush, you just think it's a regular shrub. And you go running into it, and also it's like, I'm dead.
Yeah, you get 40 or 50 hypodermic needles shoved into your skin. Hurts. Best Life. No, what you need to do is get a tinge unit. Instead of putting the pads facing you like you would for relieving of muscle spasms, you tape them backwards so they're facing out. So if somebody tries to put their hand on your shoulder and get all cozy with you and hey baby, you just turn that tinge unit on 10 max and they'll jump backwards about 22 feet.
Unless they're drunk, then they'll think that you're vibrating for them.
No. Have you ever had a tinge unit set at 10?
Yeah, your face goes.
Oh. Your whole body goes.
It's like getting hit with a stun gun.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever put one on your face? Come on, everybody has. Your cheeks go. You're like, yeah. It's hilarious.
I had 10 units for my back and everything, but if I hit that button thing wrong and it twisted up, I thought I was turning it down, turning it up. All of a sudden, it's like the next second, I was like, oh, geez, wrong way, unplug it. Just.
Yeah, unfortunately, for my lower back and my neck, as bad off as they are right now, I have to run a tinge unit at 8 maximum pulse. And that's the only thing that'll relieve the stress and the
Mhm.
tension that's in it.
Yeah.
My
The car-
chiropractor looked at me when she seen where I had it set after working a 10-hour shift at Waffle House back when I was working there. She looked at me and she said, "You shouldn't be walking." I said, "I have no choice. I have to pay child support. I have to feed myself. I have to pay rent. I have no choice."
Yeah.
All right. So
Night, Howie.
Lori,
Have a
what
good
is
night.
the answer? Good night, Howie. Lori, what is the answer to your question? I don't know. What are women called once they're too old to be called cougars?
I thought the cougar thing was the end of all.
No, there's more.
Oh.
It's kind of disgusting, but
And wait,
Okay,
there's
it
more.
was disgusting. We're not going to talk about it. I thought it was going to be something like mummy
Oh, she
or
doesn't know. It's an honest question.
mummy.
Feinstein.
Miss Plastic Face.
See, I told you it was disgusting.
All right. Okay. For your so whatever type fencing you want, whatever type animals, that's what you got planned for your fencing. Let's get back on topic here. But you need to plan out for the possibilities of what you think you might do. One of the things that when we bought the new place came with was a pig pen. That pig pen had 2x6s running across with about a foot between each one. And then on the inside where the pigs were at, he put 3/4 inch OSB. Hey, Kathy, he's there. North Star Prepstetter.
No, she's having computer issues.
He lined the entire thing with 3/4 inch OSB board. So the pigs never saw it, looked up to try to get out. They were in there all nice and happy. The only time they freaked is when he was dumping grass clippings in there, or we were taking buckets of apples over to them. First bucket in, they freak out. Second bucket, they go, oh, keep dumping them. They're over here just eating the apples. But the lining the entire thing with OSB kept the pigs from doing any damage. Of course, he also had a cement floor in there too just cemented the whole thing, so it's easy to clean up, and there was no stink or anything else because he kept it clean and everything.
Yeah.
But for fencing and stuff on the rest of it, we got cow panels on the back side between us and the neighbor on the back side, and from the pig pen to the back fence, that fence there was like the one I showed in the beginning of the slides, where you had the 3 rails, and then you had the fencing nailed to it. Hey, Butch, good to see you. So but on over where my daughter is, they have we have the wooden posts along the one side with metal posts in between. We have the is that 4 foot or is it 5 foot tall? I think it's 4 foot tall. So where it's got the big square holes at the top and gets down to a little bit narrow at the bottom, and then barbed wire on top of that. But if you're going to have cows, seriously, folks, if you're going to have cows, you need to have a hot wire on your fence. Because
go talk to not the Broussards, Big Bear Homestead. Go talk to them about cows and fencing.
Yeah, and it's just because a cow, if they've eaten the grass down fairly low out there, and they see tall grass on the other side, they don't care about barbed wire.
They don't care about fencing, period.
Yeah, they start getting their head underneath the barbed wire or pushed on it, and they just start leaning on that fence, and just you think metal doesn't stretch? Wait till you get a hungry cow against it. They just kind of start leaning on it, the fence just starts going down. So, drops. Yeah, cows take a bit of room. What's interesting here, speaking of this, check your area for what the county and city ordinances are. What's interesting here, in the city of Basalt, they years and years ago, back in the 50s, the county, I think the county passed the blanket ordinances for all the unincorporated cities and even most of the cities, saying you could only, unless the cities changed it, you can only have 2 large animals per acre. That's either 2 horses, 2 cows, 1 horse, 1 cow, but 2 is what you're limited to. Well, it's weird here in California, back in the 70s, we were allowed to have 4 per acre.
Wow.
So yeah, somebody here got in there and caused problems. But anyway, so check your local ordinances for what your limits are.
I got to share this because the question was asked, so I have to share it.
Okay. All right. This channel, it does not endorse or condone anything being shared right now.
It should endorse it.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Okay. I thought you were answering the question on what is a
no.
All right. So this
I'm not going to ruin your channel by putting Feinstein or anybody else like that up there.
All right. So here we have. Let's see, make that a little bit bigger.
Do I have anything cheaper?
You ain't going to find it cheaper because this is a small bottle. When I did a search for the other stuff, the 1 gallon bottles and the 5 gallon are stupid expensive.
Wow.
Hey, Dave, click on the 12 ounce size. See if that goes down more than $10. Nope, it's still $10 for 4 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, the 5 gallon bottle that I see, or no, that wasn't even. Hold on, let's go back. There you go. $125.
Yeah, I'll just do my entire property.
Yeah, that one that you could $125. And that's a gallon jug or 5 gallon.
Well, look at the sprayer. It's a gallon.
Okay, it's a gallon jug. Okay, gallon. So that is
64 ounce jug. 1 gallon.
64.
But this is concentrated.
Okay.
Oh, so what? You mix it with water or?
I don't know.
Huh.
Or you can just squirt it right out of the bottle.
Interesting. Probably smells something fierce.
Oh, yes. This is not something you just have in the house willy-nilly.
Well, that's actually that's cheaper.
I definitely wouldn't want the coyote urine because that would bring those in. But we don't have big cats here.
You could get this.
Predator skunk scent spray.
Yeah, I mean, you just had a whiff of that yourself the other day, so you know how effective it is. Keeps humans at bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting stuff, guys.
So basically, with the predator pee and the skunk stuff, you're creating an invisible fence.
Mm-hmm.
Does this stuff actually work? I mean, does it really work? I mean, yes. I wouldn't want to spend $40 on something. I haven't done enough research, but
there you go. There you
go.
Yeah. So
U.S. and Canada. There you go, Prairie. Right up your alley, right? What you need. It should keep your favorite prime minister at bay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Armadillo, iguana, fox, rabbit.
Let me see if I can find something here real quick. Give me a second here.
I like this part right here. Stop people from loitering. Encourage social distancing. See, it should work great for you up there, Prairie.
Oh, and get rid of rats. We might need this stuff.
We could use it around Washington.
No, because they're used to their smell. I mean, the polecat smell. Okay, I ain't got that there. All right. I don't have it here. I was gonna put something up, but it's
what
not
you need.
Easily findable. No, it was comic relief here. All right, so we're hitting the top of the hour. So let me bring up my information here to get up a page here so I can see it. All right, so this coming Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping. Tactical Tuesday, the topic is, which pet is right for you? So we're going to talk about pets and animals and stuff, getting the proper pet. One of the things just to point out is why I'm bringing this up is I had this farther down and got moved up. It was going to be farther back on the schedule, but my daughter and her husband, in their infinite wisdom, decided they were going to go get another dog. They just got rid of the one because it was a little uncontrollable for them. Not vicious and stuff, but barking all the time, peeing on the floor, chewing things up. And they go and get I think it was about a 9-month-old Alaskan Husky.
Mm.
All right, I want to address something that was asked.
Been abused.
Even though it's not an ideal solution.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to harvest your own bodily fluids as a deterrent, the best way to do it, this is serious. Best way to do it is dehydrate yourself for a day, go to the bathroom, rehydrate yourself, and do that over the course of about 2 weeks. You should have plenty of ammo, so shall we say, and then you can actually do that. It will be of such a very, I'll tell you right now, it's going to make you puke when you go to spread it out, but it will deter most pests.
Because it would be the most potent.
Yes, it would be. You would not want to be around it for very long.
Yeah.
But when it comes to human excrement, liquids especially, if you're dehydrated, it has got just such the most awful smell.
Yeah.
And that would work. I don't recommend it because you'll probably make yourself puke trying to get it saved up enough.
Wait. Carol said, just wondering who picks up all these animals to catch.
I don't know, dude. Have you guys watched Thorhaven?
I'm melting the pee out of this rat here.
Thorhaven's wife was literally underneath their cow collecting pee for a pregnancy test. She literally went underneath it while it was peeing.
Hey, you do what you got to do when you're living out in the country.
So you gotta, I guess that's how they do it.
The very first farm I ever worked on as a kid, they did that. All the cattle that they were trying to breed, to keep the breeding cycle going, they had pregnancy tests for them cows. I thought it was stupid back then, but now that I'm older and realize what they were doing, I understand it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm going to go stand behind a cow and wait for it to kick me in the face while I'm trying to catch its urine. Not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember milking our cow, and more than once in the wintertime, again, coming into the nice warm barn, we're about halfway milking, all of a sudden that tail goes up and it starts to hunch its back. We had another 5-gallon bucket there off to the side to catch the pee. The tail goes up, we grab that bucket and right up against it and catch the pee.
No, CB, what you're referring to is how they keep lot lizards off the sides of their trucks. And if you don't know it, folks don't know what that is, don't ask. It's a family channel. That's all the further I can go with it.
Google it, people.
That's sort of like
I don't even know if
lizard.
Google will have it. No, I'm not checking either.
Yeah. All right. So Tuesday night, which pet is right for you? Next Friday, we're going to talk about something that's a little bit sort of prepping and homesteading. And because it's, we've talked a little bit about this stuff we talked about wildfire smoke last Tuesday. So next Friday, we're talking about wildfires. Do you have a plan? Yes, we are harping on this because the wildfires are getting out of control. There's been 100 wildfires more than the previous year since 2015. So 2016 had 100 more than 2015. 2017 had 100 more than 2016. And it's been going on since then, increasing by over 100 fires in the previous year. So, guys, we're going to be talking about wildfire plans, and not just a plan, but plans plural, including when is it time for you to say it's time to head for safety. All right, so that's what's coming up there, and then so we got which pet is right for you on next Tuesday, and wildfire plans next Friday. So hopefully you guys will be here and we can share some information. And yeah. And by Tuesday, well, no, it won't be Tuesday, will it? It'll be probably Wednesday or Thursday before you're out of YouTube jail, right?
No, I'm out tomorrow.
You're out tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. I'll have something for Tuesday. Y'all just have to check in and see what it is.
All righty. So yeah, Dave will be out of YouTube jail before putting out the truth.
I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to push it so hard. I'm not going to go back to back like I did this last time. I'm going to wait 2 to 3 weeks before I put out some more truth and probably get 2 weeks in jail this time.
You're in trouble, mister.
Create a video, put it somewhere else on Discord or whatever. Tell everybody, all right, here it is. Go check it out. We're going to dance.
Well, the thing is, I've put stuff on Rumble and nobody goes over there to watch it. So there's no sense of putting it up on Rumble because nobody's going over to watch it. So I'm not, that takes time. And if I want it to be searchable, I've got to pay them until they decide to pay me.
Yeah.
If I want the rights to be able to pull a video down at my discretion, I've pretty much got to pay for it to be up there. I'm not paying them. I'm not paying a service to host my videos. Yeah. Nor am I going to allow them to make money off my videos. You know, YouTube does that bad enough as it is. They're already running ads on some of my shit. Excuse my French.
Rumble fishes.
Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You know, some people are able to get their stuff real. The links work really good to their Rumble stuff really easy. Others have problems. Like click on the Rumble's ones, it doesn't like to go.
Anything that's on, if I've posted it on Rumble, it's usually posted either on the community section or under a different video so people can find it still.
Yeah. All righty. So, folks, I'd like to thank Courtney for coming up here and sharing the stuff that she does on her little homestead with fencing. And I'd like to thank everybody out there who contributed in the side chat about the things they do with fencing. And hopefully everybody picked up something, learned something new, a little tidbit, whatever. And so when you guys go to get new fencing, remember, plan ahead. All righty. And so we're going to wrap it up now. I'd like to say thank you to everyone that viewed and watched, and hope you learned something.